Imagine that you are not feeling like you. You're not feeling like yourself anymore. When you're feeling unwell, what do? You go to a doctor. In this case, a doctor is going to perform some tests, ask some questions, maybe do some research. They want to get you the correct diagnosis. When they come back, they inform you that you have an incurable disease, one that can only be regulated through strong medication that's closely and carefully monitored. So, how do you react? Millions of people who receive a mental health diagnosis go through this in the beginning all the time. They can then use that diagnosis, however, do their research, and that allows them to tell them how they tick and how to cope with their feelings. They can also take that information to their friends and family and begin building a network of positivity that they can surround themselves with. Because so little is known about mental illness, there's so much negative imagery that comes with it. The initial reaction tends to be adverse because people think that they're being asked, how do I help somebody out of a situation, rather than how do I help somebody support through a situation. I myself was diagnosed as bipolar, among many other things, and I was given medication to regulate it, therapy to talk about it, and sent on my way. I used to think that that wasn't enough, but I took the few friends and family that I had stick by me, and I created my own network of support. I need you to stop and think for a moment. How do you react when somebody tells you that they have a mental illness? Or if you have a mental disorder yourself, how do people tend to respond to you when you're having a bad day? Today, I want to cover some of the signs that stigmas can create. I also want to speak to you about some of the struggles of my own mental illnesses that I've gone through. Lastly, I want to talk to you about how you can be there to support somebody when they call for your help. Stigmas can create such a negative mental imagery for mental illness. It used to be so taboo to talk about for the longest time, but now everybody has a disorder of one kind or another, but nobody knows how to deal with it. People get discriminated constantly in the workplace and in family life. It's because they're viewed in a different light, they're scrutinized constantly. Negatively reacting to their stress and their panic can cause a massive loss of hope. By doing any kind of reaction to that, that can be the difference between saving a life or somebody ending theirs. I also feel that mental health should be on the same level and the same importance as physical health, but it's not there yet. All I ever needed was someone to guide me through finding some of these options when I was dealing with my own diagnosis. Now, growing up, my curfew was the streetlights. Finding my friends was as easy as looking for the bikes in the yard. My parents had to be reminded nightly on television that they had kids. Life was simple, but it wasn't easy. I grew up in a broken home with abusive parents, and that's something that I carry with me on a daily basis. I was 22 when I received my diagnosis. I was given different medications to learn how to balance it. I was given a therapist to talk about it. I did my research. I talked to my friends and family, and most of them shunned me because they didn't know how to react to it. It was something out of their control. Mental health has become so important to me. Flash forward, I'm now 44. I'm more balanced than I was then. Still take my medication, and I still go to therapy, but only when I need it. I have my network of friends. Smaller, but they understand why I rely on them a lot more than they used to. I'm open and honest with them, and they return that to me. Despite having such a tough start at this, I feel like I've learned how to find hope in the most dire situations, I never gave up, and I never give up on others. Just remember, people need at least one person that they can count on when they call for help. Being that pillar for somebody is so vital because they make the difference. Being open and receptive allows people to turn to you when they need you the most. Even if you don't know how to handle a situation, or it's too much, or you don't know what to say, just remember 3 numbers: 988. 988 is the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, and these guys are there to help you or somebody who's suffering get through these situations. You can express your concerns, you can, get advice, whatever you need from these guys. And if you're the one suffering from a mental illness, keep looking to start that support group and never give up. There's always going to be somebody out there that's looking out for you. So, from everything I've shared, from my own struggles, from how to help others, I hope I've encouraged some of you to be somebody's lighthouse in their fog. I had to swim through my own sea of negativity and be turned away from a lot of people before being seen. I remained open and honest, and they respond accordingly. I want everyone listening to know that they can make a difference. So be ready. Mental illness may not be curable, but it can be managed with the appropriate amount of support, medication, or therapy. Depending on the severity of the issues, they may need a mix. And if somebody's reaching out to you, looking to you for their support, feel honored. Take a step back, do your research. They chose you to open up to. So do your research and be there for them. Thank you.